done. Meanwhile, as it pertains to the All-Star game, Mariners announced today that center fielder Julio Rodriguez will not participate. He had been voted onto the AL roster via the players' ballot. Mariners and Rodriguez will use the All-Star break to, quote, recuperate, rest, and prepare for the second half of the season. Randy Arozarena has been named to the All-Star team as his replacement.
Snapshot, brought to you by Miller Lite. When it's game time, it's Miller time.
This hour is brought to you by Legacy Group Capital Common Sense Lending.
From the Quantum Fiber Studio, this is Wyman and Bob.
On Seattle Sports.
Streaming live on the Seattle Sports app and at seattlesports.com.
Now, here are your hosts, Dave Wyman and Bob Stelton.
Welcome, everybody. It's Wyman and Bob. This is Seattle Sports on 710, seattlesports.com. Happy Friday to everybody out there on another beautiful day outside. Gorgeous day outside. Headed into the weekend. It's going to be nice.
Yes. It's beautiful out there.
Oh, it's great. It's great.
You know, it's good lawn maintenance weather.
Is that what this is? That's how you see it?
You see, by the way, there's a new Dr. Rick commercial where he's like coaching people to not become your parents.
I haven't seen the new one, I don't think.
Yeah, so the new one says, it says, yard work is not a hobby. I'm like, wait
You're
a
going,
minute.
yes, it is.
Yeah, it is.
It's mine.
It's not?
Oh, my goodness.
So
yeah,
I've fallen into the Dr. Rick category.
You become your parents.
Yes, I have.
Yeah, that's right. It is Friday. It is a short show. Once again, Mariners taking on the Tigers, game one of that three-game series. We'll turn you over to the pregame show at 3 o'clock, but we will try to squeeze in mean texts before then. So you've got a lot less time to get creative at 866-979-3776. Do your best. Be creative. Lefko's not here once again. He worked 3 one-hour days and said, you know what, I am dragging.
He's gassed.
I got nothing left in the tank. So feel free to take shots at him.
I like how you say you're so like hopeful that just be creative. Like, you know, it's like you're like a third grade teacher, and these
Do your
people
best.
they're basically third graders. I just would have much more of a negative tone. Like, well, try. I mean, I know it's not likely to happen.
You'd be going, come on, dummies.
Yeah.
You would try to insult your way to victory with them. But we'll see what they come up with. And I would imagine there's a little fire in their belly after last night. Worst loss of the season.
Yeah.
Is there any question as to whether that's true or not? For me, I guess it's
No.
all subjective. But for me, it's not close. That was the worst loss of the season.
Totally. And then how does it end? It ends with, we've been talking about this big MVP race. And so, yeah, Aaron Judge hits a sac fly that was really, what a good throw from Julio. And then Cal just wasn't able to get the tag down. That's got to be so unbelievably hard. But, it was a great slide and everything. But, yeah, for it to end that way, that was just cruel. Like, after I was like, that was unnecessary. That was totally unnecessary. It should not have ended that way.
Well, and what made it so bad is what you got out of Brian Wu.
Yeah.
Who, when he started the game, you're going, oh, boy, this is going to be rough. Like, he just didn't have his command. He walked 2 hitters in the first inning. You're like, oh, goodness, can they get 5 out of him? That's what I was thinking is, can he keep him in check and just give us 5? And he found it and was electric. He had a no-hitter going into the 8th inning. Yeah. A no-hitter going into the 8th. And ultimately, he goes 7 in the 3rd, gives up 2 hits, 2 runs, those 2 walks that happened in the first inning. Didn't strike out a ton of guys, 5 strikeouts, but he was brilliant. Brilliant. Gets into the 8th, gives up a couple of hits. All right, pull him out. And then here comes Brash. And the hard part about last night is that you could argue the 4 best arms in your entire, at their job. Your best starter, your best setup guy, obviously your closer, your best lefty. The 2 guys that have the lowest ERA, that have been the most effective, are the ones that gacked it. Mm-hmm. Brash gives up the home run. Munoz comes in. He walks. He's got traffic all over the place, and ultimately he blows it. And then Spire, he gave up. He walked 2. These are your best arms out of the bullpen. Those are who else would you take above Brash, Munoz, and Spire? Those are your high leverage guys.
No, absolutely.
So, and this isn't dogging them because it happened. It was just the weirdness of all three of them gacking it.
Right.
All three of them. The best guy, like if you're saying you can pick anybody who's fresh and ready and rested and the game's on the line, who are you taking? Those three without blinking an eye.
Bob, I hadn't thought of it that way. Now I feel much worse. Thank you very much. It was brutal. It was brutal. I mean, and then Brash, I mean, before he gives up the home run, he threw the same pitch that just barely missed on the corner, and then he tries it again, and it ends up being center cut, gone.
Yeah.
So yeah, I mean, I think the other thing is that this is a team that is built on their pitching. Their rotation is, probably one of the best, and like you said, your best guys. Your best guys,
your best starter
that should get you a win.
Your best bullpen arms, your best starter. Brian Wu did his job. He more than did his job. He was spectacular, and that was cool to see. Just especially based on the way he started the game. The way he started, it looked like it was going to be a long day, and the bullpen was going to get used, and he just doesn't have it. And boy, he flipped a switch, and he was amazing.
Wu steps into the 1-2 to Bellinger. Swung on line drive center field. Julio is over. He is there. He makes the catch. That's the final out of the 7th inning. Brian Wu has retired 20 in a row, hanging zeros against the New York Yankees, punctuating an all-star first half for the Mariners All-Star Brian Wu. What a night here at Yankee Stadium.
20 in a row. I mean, he was spectacular. Kudos to him. That's a huge positive. Kudos to him. He was amazing. And again, I just can't emphasize enough the turnaround, because he was way off. Some of those strikes weren't even close. I mean, Kyle's up here catching the ball. He had a ton of velocity last night. He had almost 99 on the gun. I mean, he had some energy going there, and it was getting away from him early, and he turned it around. No hitter going into the 8th. He was spectacular. And then, again, the 3 most reliable arms in your bullpen. They all took turns stinking it up.
Yeah. I'll tell you what, they did a thing on MLB Central this morning, and, there were 3 Mariners that showed up, one for a bad reason, and that was Julio. They were talking about he's jamming himself and going through all the mechanics and everything of his swing. And so, it wasn't super surprising that he decided to opt out, but what you saw from Wu, and they were just all over him about his arm angle and how it, and I think basically what they were saying is what we heard from Cal is the easy cheese, that like it just doesn't look like he's about to throw high 90s, and it just explodes out of his hand.
Yeah.
So they did a whole breakdown on him, and then Arozarena, of course, because over the last 10 games, that guy has just been on fire. I mean, 297 average, 7 home runs, 11 RBIs, 8 runs, 3 1/4 as far as on-base percentage goes, slugging 865. So he's on a heater. But yeah, it was just a particularly cruel loss, just because of Julio makes the throw, good throw home, and you just don't get the tag out of Cal. It was it was in a good spot, but
yeah, you got a 5-0 lead going into the 8th inning.
Yeah.
You got a 5-0 lead, and you got Brash and Munoz sitting there, and you're going, done. At least they got one. That's how I was thinking. I was like, all right, you salvaged one from the Yankees. Hopefully, something big happens, and you get 2 from Detroit, and we look at this as, hey, you went 500. That's the goal. You got a 6-game road trip. Get at least 3. That you can live with that. And I was already counting the win. Going 8th inning, 5-0. You got your guys coming up, and they're rested. Brash is ready. He's gonna dazzle him. Munoz is gonna lock him down, and they gacked it. And then even Spire again with the 2 walks. It was bad. It was just a bad night, and blowing a. Maybe it wouldn't feel as bad if Wu gave up a run or 2, and he gave you 7, but he was good, but he wasn't no hit good. Right. I think that made it feel worse. That whole effort was for naught, essentially. Yeah. It didn't amount to anything. So, yeah, that was to me, this is where we're going to see what Dan's made of as a therapist. Yeah. Because that clubhouse, I would imagine, and he was asked about it after the game, but we've been in the clubhouse here after a loss. It's like being in a library.
Yeah.
It's like everybody's talking like this, and you go up to a player like, "Hey man, can I get a few minutes here?" And everybody's whispering, and I can't even imagine what it was like in this. But Dan was asked about the energy in the clubhouse afterwards.
It's quiet. It's quiet. It's like you said. It's just a tough way to lose. It's tough to lose there and get walked off here in this ballpark, and we got to regroup, which we do, and we got to come out tomorrow and ready to go in Detroit.
Yeah, I think, as you said, just particularly humiliating in every way. I mean, number one, you go there and you get swept, obviously, and especially when you think, okay, we're going to take 1 out of 3 here, and you're thinking that most of the game. But then, the fact that Judge hits the sac fly to center field, and Julio, great throw, but Cal can't get the tag. He goes 0 for 4, and yeah, I mean,
well, between the two of them, they went 0 for the night with 3 strikeouts. Julio had 1, Cal had 2, so neither one of them gave you anything at the plate. Julio was 0 for 5, Cal 0 for 4.
Right. And so, we talk about Cal with the MVP race and everything, and there's kind of a direct, like, okay, Aaron Judge hits the sac fly that ends up winning the game, and Cal can't get the tag down. And, yeah, it was just, like I said, it was cruel. It was absolutely cruel. The baseball gods are cruel. So they're going to have to, we'll see. I mean, if you look at Detroit, don't mean to be Doomsday Dave, but if you look at them, I mean, you look at their offense.
Well, you're going against Skubal today.
Yeah.
Arguably the best pitcher in baseball.
Yep.
And look, can't get mad at the offense. You can get mad at certain, we talked about Cal going 0 for and Julio going 0 for. They put up 5 runs.
Right.
You lost the night before when you put up 6 runs. So offensively, they're better than they were against the Pirates. You had 2 1-0 wins back to back. Mm-hmm. You won. Your pitching was great, and that worked out. But the offense was far from electric in that you put up 6 in Game 2. You lost 9-6. You put up 5 here. Game 1, you basically got your tail handed to you. You scored 3 runs toward the end that were kind of nothing. You lost 10-3. I mean, you weren't in that game. But the last 2 games you lost, you put up 11 runs combined. So this was all about pitching. This was about your bullpen, which had been fantastic. And, again, you wouldn't have picked any other arms to come out of that bullpen in this situation. And it's just one of those nights that, again, not knocking those guys because they've been way more good than they've been bad. Way more. It's not even close. But for it to all happen on the same night and each one of them to struggle.
Well, and as you mentioned, the pitching, I mean, it was our best guys that are out there. And you just, I see the clip here of Dan Wilson talking about, it's just something you don't hear. Munoz struggling in the 9th. I mean, he's just been so steady and just automatic, basically. And then glad you brought up Spire. I mean, Spire has been fantastic. And, yeah, it was just very – I had to close the window because I was screaming at the TV. And the neighbors were out in their backyard.
Yeah. Dan Wilson, I saw – not a lot. I saw a couple people on Twitter like, why did he send him back out? Talking about Wu because he gave up a couple hits. I'm like, what do you mean, why did he send him back out? He's got a no-hitter going. Right. You're gonna give this guy a chance. He is sizzling. You heard he retired 20 in a row. What do you mean why you sent? It's not like he had 110 pitches under his belt. He's in the 80s, and Dan was asked about it after the game.
I think we were ready to go. And the way he was throwing the ball, he was just, he was gonna. We had a chance to go a little bit more with him. They just got the 2 quick hits, but then able to get the out, and then I thought Matty was ready to go. So it was again, just an outstanding outing for Brian, and just an incredible outing for him.
Yeah, I had zero issue with him going back out there. What was he at? 84 pitches, I think, going into that 8th inning. Mm-hmm. None. You give him a chance.
Yeah,
it'd be different if he had some, traffic on the bases. Yeah, he still had the no-hitter, but he maybe walked some guys, and he had some high-pressure innings, and, he's throwing a bunch of pitches there. No, he didn't. First inning was the toughest.
Right.
He got through that, 0 issue. That is not why they lost. So, you feel good. If you're Dan Wilson, you bring in Brash, you got a 5-0 lead, or at that point it wasn't 5-0, but you feel good about where you're at. Right? And he comes up, gives up the long ball to the world's ugliest swing. I cannot stand Stanton's swing. I can't argue his results. The guy's been a superstar. He's got massive power, but that swing is atrocious looking. His whole setup, his closed stance, he looks like he's chopping a tree awkwardly.
It's ugly. It's got to be the shortest swing.
It's ugly
in Major League Baseball, right?
I don't know. It's aesthetically unpleasing.
Yeah, I would say this. I think if I was a big league hitter, I would tend to be more towards him. Just keep it simple, and it's pretty simple.
It's very. He doesn't. He's got no stride.
Yeah.
He's close stance, and he just looks so robotic.
It's like he's chopping at it.
Yeah, it's just really jerky looking, but it works. Hey, it works. I'm like somebody like Griffey is the polar opposite. You look at it, it's a beautiful swing. It glides. It's smooth. There's a rhythm, and then you watch Stanton. It's just. But it's powerful, and it worked, and it's worked for him. So whatever. But something else that came up, and I heard this. I didn't notice this during the game, but Dan was asked about it after the game, and that was the idea that Munoz was tipping his pitches, and they were talking about, I guess, when they had somebody standing on second, they would raise their arms when he was throwing a slider or something. I didn't notice any of that on the broadcast, but Cal talked about it and felt like on the slider that he was tipping his pitches.
Yeah, he was tipping it every time on second base. So, obviously they weren't making it very discreet, I guess is the word. So, but it is part of the game, and it's our job that we had to have better, know about that going into series, and that made it really hard there at the end. So. Okay,
so if you saw it, how is that not corrected? How are you not paying the mound visit going, hey, dude, every time we call a slider, this is what they're doing, so you need to adjust?
Yeah.
What happened?
Well, remember in the Toronto series, Cal actually got yelled at by, I can't remember who the pitcher was, but it was something about that he was...
Yeah, he thought he was stealing signs. Which is weird because they're not giving signs. They got pitch comm. So that and Cal looked confused when the guy said that. Yeah. So that was a weird thing.
This one was very obvious. I mean,
I don't know what Cal was doing. If he's saying he was tipping it every time, as he said there. Okay, well then what's the salute? Aren't you going to mound visit? Andres, here's what's going on. They know you're throwing the slider, you're tipping it. This is what you're doing.
Yeah.
I don't know what he was doing to tip it, but fix it right there. You don't just I don't understand that sequence of events there.
Yeah, and it also brings up like how much do they work on that, of not tipping? Because remember, we had an interview with Brash, and he was saying how JP came up and told him, like, dude, I can see your grip every time. And so he made those adjustments. And what was it specifically about what he was doing that was tipping them?
I don't know. I don't know if it was his glove positioning, his arm position. I have no idea. A lot of times I give credit to the teams that pick up on those things, because sometimes it's incredibly subtle. Right. Sometimes it's not. Sometimes it's the movement in the glove or where they're resting their hands, but I didn't notice anything. I didn't notice the guy on second. I was just caught up in the moment of, oh my God, are they going to blow this thing? And I'm just looking at, was that a strike? Was that a ball? I wasn't looking at his setup or looking at the guy on second or any of that. So, but it sounds like Cal saw it, and somebody just texted him, well, maybe Cal didn't know either. Well, he just said
he did.
He just said, he was tipping it every time.
Yeah, I don't know that maybe he was. Maybe he didn't know. I don't know. It's just a strange response from Cal, because like you said, he's like, oh yeah, they were tipping it. He was tipping it every time. Yeah, they got it. And it's like, well, like you said, why no adjustment there?
Yeah, somebody said, and I didn't read this, I don't know where if this was on our site or where, they said there was an article this morning where Cal said he didn't go out to the mound to tell Munoz he was tipping his slider because he didn't want to break up his rhythm. Shaking my head. I don't know where that was at. But if that's what he said, I'm sorry. I love Cal to death. That's on you, man. That's your job. That's your job. You're the general out there. You're guiding this guy through the game. Screw his rhythm. They know what's coming. You got to tell him. You got to go out there and say, look, dude, this is what's going on. This is our situation. And Munoz has got to be pro enough to keep that rhythm if that's what they're afraid of. So I didn't see that comment, but man, my goodness. That was
he knows more than everybody else, so maybe it's, Munoz doesn't handle that well, or he thinks it's going to disrupt his flow if he goes and does the mound visit. I don't know. But the only thing is, and we talk about this all the time with the Astros, that, like, there's no bigger mystery in any sport, like in football. If you know the play, you still got to stop it, and there's lots of things going on, but knowing what pitch is coming,
you can't,
is the most deadly tip that you could possibly get in any sport.
You can't do it. I don't care about rhythm. I don't care that this will break up. I don't care. The game's on the line.
Yeah.
So what? All right, he loses rhythm, but at least they don't know what pitch is coming. I mean, to me, it's an easy choice. You go out there. So I'm not sure what Cal was thinking there. That's a weird move or non-move, I guess. Meanwhile, we'll get into more of that. But right now, let's take two.
Julio Rodriguez has announced that he will not be participating in the 2025 All-Star game. Randy Arozarena will be taking his place.
Yeah, Julio's statement. Sorry, Dave, here real quick. He just said, I'm really honored that my peers voted me into the All-Star game. It means a lot to me, and as much as I'd love to be out there, I want to take this time to take care of my body and fully prepare for the second half of the season. It's definitely tough to miss out on the All-Star experience, but I'll be cheering on all the guys and wishing them and their families an amazing week. Good on him. Good on him. I like this. I like this a lot. I don't know what the results will be. Does it help him? I don't know what he's going to do. Is he just going to lay on the couch and go, I'm getting my mind off baseball? Or is he going to watch video of his swings? I don't know what he's going to do. But we talked about the idea of him going there. And really the only benefit to me would be if he were in the home run derby and he just got in the habit of trying to lift the ball and trying to, maybe that would help. But outside of it, I love this.
Well, who was it that was saying, was it Ryan Roland-Smith that was saying, hey, if you go to the All-Star game, depending on how you get there, it doesn't really matter. You're a dude now.
Yeah.
And it gives you that kind of confidence. And so that's where, at first I thought, okay, yeah, maybe it would be good for Julio, but he's going to miss out on that experience. And if that's something that could, give him some confidence, I think he might be missing out on an opportunity there.
Yeah, except that he wasn't in the Derby. So maybe he gets one at bat, and if he goes up there and whiffs or grounds out, what does that do? So I don't know. I like it personally.
It just depends on how every athlete is different, and the way I think it was Ryan Roland-Smith that he was describing it as like, hey, it gives you a lot of confidence to know that you're there, and even if you do only get one at bat, but that's just what I thought. But maybe it'll help him fix his swing, because they were talking about it this morning about how he's jamming himself, and it's just a different swing, and they're comparing it to some of the times when he's hot, and it's not the same.
Chargers running back Najee Harris sustained an eye injury after a fireworks mishap at a 4th of July event over the weekend.
Wow. I thought we were going to get away with no tomfoolery or, bad. We had speeding from Shadur Sanders, right? But this downtime here. And then I thought, hey, we survived the 4th of July and the fireworks. No, we didn't.
Figure an NFL player of all would look at Jason Pierre-Paul and go, oh, yeah.
Remember
he's
that?
missing digits. We were looking at pictures of his hand. It's a horror show. His
really
hand.
is.
It looks like prosthetics from a horror movie with what's left of his hand after his firework incident. So I don't know, man. Your time in this league is so short. So short. You could probably pass up. You know what? I'll get to 4th of July when I'm retired at 30 or 31 or what. I mean, you're still a young bird. You got a lot of 4th of Julys in front of you. I'm going to treat that career in the NFL with care and understanding just how short it truly is.
And for now, I'll just sit in the lawn chair, 30 yards away, and enjoy the show.
Yeah.
Not be involved.
Oh, goodness.
Hard to believe.
Take Two is brought to you by Swedish Cyberknife. Treat prostate cancer with Swedish Cyberknife. Swedish.org/cyberknife prostate. Coming up, you're going to hear the second part of our interview with Ari Gold himself, Jeremy Piven, who's in town this Saturday for a comedy show at the Neptune. You're going to hear that coming your way next with Wyman and Bob at Seattle Sports on 710.
The season of Cal continues.
And the next offer on the way to Cal, swinging a drive, deep to right field.
Big Dumper is in the Derby.
Goodbye, baseball.
Like, what if Cal was doing this for the Yankees and Judge was doing this for the Mariners? Who's the MVP then?
Hear Cal Raleigh in the Home Run Derby, Monday afternoon at 5. Live from Truist Park in Atlanta. Only on the home of the Mariners. Seattle Sports on 710 and the Seattle Sports app.
Look at that weather outside. It is shining. It is warm. It is motorcycle weather. How about that? I love this weather, and I've got a lot of friends that get out there and tell me the same thing every time, though. It's not a matter of if, but when you get into an accident. Hopefully that's not true. I'm knocking on wood. Hasn't happened yet. But if you're somebody that rides and has been involved in a motorcycle crash and been injured, do not settle for firms that say that they're motorcycle lawyers. Trust the ones who actually live it. That's Law Tigers. They've been a part of the writing community for nearly a quarter a century nationwide. They're there 24/7, 365 days a year because writers deserve real support when they need it most. And Law Tigers is the resource writers can turn to when they're in need. Law Tigers is out at all the events. You see the tents and the vans driving around. They support all of the clubs and shops. Law Tigers are always by your side. Your case evaluation, by the way, is always free. There are no fees until your case settles. They don't get paid until you get paid. You never ride alone with the Law Tigers. Law Tigers, Washington Motorcycle Lawyers. Jimmy Cook, 539 Broadway, Unit 104, Tacoma, Washington, 98402.
Are you thinking about getting a new TV this week at prime prices? Maybe a Samsung, LG, or a Sony? Before you click, you should check out Video Only because they've got below prime deals. That's right. Top-rated TVs at better than online prices. Curbside pickup or home delivery are available. Don't click before you call Video Only, because if you do, you'll be sorry.
Guys, did you know your testosterone affects everything in your system, including how you feel and perform every day? Right now, Revive Men's Health Seattle will check your testosterone for free. Knowing your T levels is the first step in understanding if you have low T. Your testosterone level impacts your energy, libido, sleep, weight, hair loss, mood, and even ED. Maintaining an appropriate T level can change your whole life. Most men start to see changes in their hormone levels in their 30s. Experience and results matter. So what are you waiting for? Get your T levels checked today by local, experienced, and trusted men's health experts. They've helped thousands of men since 2011. They're so confident they can help you, they even guarantee it. Call Revive today and schedule your free testosterone test, free exam, and free consultation. Call Revive Men's Health at 206-529-1111. That's 206-529-1111. Or visit ReviveMen'sHealth.com.
Well, this week's First Mark Challenge victory goes to Norm. Norm, why did you call First Mark Insurance?
Spending too much money on insurance, and it just kept on going up higher and higher and higher. And this last time I did the First Mark Challenge.
So they were able to save you some money, Norm?
Oh, yeah, at least $2,000 a year.
What?
At least.
Wow. You ever feel like, man, I wish I would have taken that First Mark Challenge earlier?
Yes. I mean, $2,000 I could have saved a year, over probably 4 or 5 years. Wow.
How would you describe their customer service?
Fantastic. Beyond expectation. Call First Mark. They treat you like a real person, that they have your best interest in mind.
Norm did it. My family did it. You got to do it. And it's totally free. Go take the First Mark Challenge. See how much money they can save you like they did Norm, and how much better your coverage will get to. Maybe you will be our next First Mark Challenge victory I get to talk to. Just go to firstmarkinsurance.com. First Mark Insurance. They work for you.
The home of the Mariners.
It is gone! Cal Raleigh, 2-run home run!
Hear every pitch on 710 and the Seattle Sports app.
Hey, Mike Salk here with some exciting news from a family-owned business that's local here in Western Washington. Yeah, we love to root for these guys. It's Riverside Roofing, and they've once again earned the prestigious GAF Master Elite President's Club. Well, that puts them in the 99.9th percentile of all roofers in the nation. So you might remember I've been talking about only 3% of roofing companies nationally qualify for GAF Master Elite status. But how many of those achieve President's Club? Well, that's only 2%. Truly the cream of the crop. Proudly from Marysville and serving homeowners all over Western Washington, Riverside Roofing is the roofing company you can trust. So what does that mean for you, the homeowner? Well, it means you're hiring the best. A company that gets high marks in performance, reliability, and service, plus an elite warranty to match. Highly reviewed and highly recommended, certainly by me. Riverside Roofing is your go-to local roofing contractor. Book them now and get that roof done fast. I highly recommend them. Go to riversideroofingllc.com. They are the roofing company you can trust.
Do you have a car you'd like to sell but don't want to go through all the hassle? With all the scams and security risks out there, more and more people are uncomfortable selling their own car. So how do you get the most money for your used car without selling it yourself? Stacy here with the answer. Wayscar Ford in Auburn. Not only will they purchase your car and pay you right up front for it, but it gets way better. Once they resell your old car, they share half the profit with you. The question I get most from my friends and colleagues is, what's the catch? And how can they offer this? It's super simple. All the money they save by not traveling to buy cars at auctions, like purchase fees, shipping, and travel expenses, is what allows them to offer this. They'd rather share that money they save with you than outside vendors. They encourage you to shop around, but if Wayscar Ford can pay you the same or more as their competitors and then share half their profit with you once they resell your car, why would you sell your car anywhere else? They've already shared over $800,000 with customers, and it's only at Wayscar Ford. That's wayscarford.com, Wayscar Ford in Auburn.
This hour is brought to you by Legacy Group Capital Common Sense Lending.
Wyman and Bob.
From the Quantum Fiber Studio.
Weekdays 2 to 7.
On Seattle Sports and 97.3 FM HD2.
A reminder, we got mean text coming up, 866-979-3776.
Let's go, morons.
We're going to turn you over to the Mariners pregame show at 3 o'clock. That's Dave Wyman calling you all morons. And Lefko's not even here to make fun of you, so feel free to just dig into him if you want. But we had the opportunity to catch up with Jeremy Piven. Came in studio. He's going to be at the Neptune Saturday night doing stand-up comedy.
You going?
Yeah, I'm going to go out there and check it out. But he came in, had a fun conversation with him. We played you part one of that conversation the other day on Wednesday, and coming your way now is part two of our conversation with Jeremy Piven.
Is there a project that you've worked on that really stands out to you, whether it was like great and so much fun, or it was a disaster, or any, because you've got quite a career going for a long time.
Yeah.
Anything stand out where you had fun or the opposite?
It's funny because I think I used to care what people thought of me. And that's dangerous. Oh boy, is that dangerous. Yeah. Because it's none of your business. It really isn't any of your business. And so I think it used to bother me that, people thought I was Ari Gold, and I like to go to work and be prepared and do the best job I possibly can. And so, especially with Entourage, I would just go and I had 4-page speeches that I had to be word for word. And if I didn't, no matter how the take was, how good it was, if I missed a word, I had to go back and do it again. So I had to make sure that it was just locked in. That I owned the language completely, like it was like the 5th month of a run of a play where it's just effortless and you're in the zone. I had to get into that zone. So I'm not on set, bro, did you see the Seahawks last week? Metcalf is a beast. No. I tried that and I sucked because the rest of the guys, because, they all were, no one could have done those roles better. No one. But not a ton of dialogue. You know what I mean? So they were living the dream and could play and have fun. I long for that. I don't have a photographic memory. So I had to just kind of stay in this zone where it was and then unleash it as if it was, improv and blah, blah, blah. And everyone thought I was improvising and every word was written. So that was the gift of a lifetime, but it was work. And so I wasn't there's this guy who was on Entourage, this character actor who, he and I didn't get along. And he's, what's the word? And I can't say his name, Malcolm McDowell. And Malcolm McDowell, it was very interesting because he was on the podcast with the great Doug Ellen, who created Entourage. And he said, well, Piven, he's not a very good hang, is he? Not a very good hang. And they used to say that about my father, who was a brilliant actor and my acting teacher. When we're working, I want to do the best I can. And if I around, I around one time, and they yelled action, and I didn't know where I was. I didn't know what. And there's some people that can just snap into it. I gotta figure out a way to get in the zone. Everyone's different. You know what I mean? And I think it was Denzel who said, I'm going to butcher it, something about like, do you want to be everyone's friend on set, or do you want to do the best work of your life? You know what I mean? And so, listen, I remember going to see, when Old School, Will Ferrell, those guys, they're some of the funniest people on the planet. Vince Vaughn, Todd Phillips, who wrote and directed it. Those guys are absolute killers. They crush it. It's a different vibe. They want you to play and improvise and have fun and be laser sharp and crush it, but it's a different energy and a different vibe. And, Will is one of those guys who has been doing sketch comedy forever, was on SNL. And so, there may be no one better. Like, getting him to break is one of the hardest things in the world. He doesn't break because he's been, trained like that. So he's an absolute killer, as is Vince. But the best work of my life hasn't come out yet. It'll be out in October. It's called The Performance. And I've been working on this for 15 years, and as soon as we leave, I'm going to get updated about, I've been after this movie, and it's like, to do an independent movie, which simply means that you have complete creative control, but it also means you got to find your own money. You do a studio movie, they provide you with all the money, and then you get 116 notes, so it's a different game. But so my mother, before she passed away, gave me this short story in the New Yorker by Arthur Miller, who won the Pulitzer Prize and married to Marilyn Monroe, and is this iconic, brilliant writer. And so I bought the rights to this short story called The Performance, had my sister adapt and direct it, and I play a tap dancer in 1937 who hides his identity and dances for Hitler, and he's Jewish. And it was the heaviest role I've ever done, the best role I've ever done in my life. And every year I heard, no, we can't give you the money. I just kept tap dancing. And so I tapped for 10 years and then got good enough, found the money, and then was by them good enough to play the role. There's something actually kind of beautiful about that.
As far as ad-libbing, is it easier in a movie as opposed to when you've got a recurring character in a show like Ari Gold? Because I'm thinking of like in Grosse Pointe Blank, some of the lines seemed ad-lib because they just seem so natural when you're out there on the dance floor and you're like, oh, it's a festival of pain. And great line, great line. And same in Very Bad Things. You had some great lines in that as well.
Yeah, Very Bad Things is Pete Berg, who's a genius, and we've he created Friday Night Lights and directed it and blah, blah, and he's insanely prolific. And he encourages improv and all those things that you're naming, Grosse Pointe Blank, that was like, I grew up with Cusack, and we had a theater company, and I did a bunch of movies with him, and my improvs were encouraged. In Seattle, Cameron Crowe would have me out for the day in Singles that I shot here, and he literally goes, look, here's the deal, man, we need some comedy. The lead in the film, Campbell Scott, you're just going to be the checkout guy, and you just riff and ask him if he can come hang, and then at the end see that he's he's got some birth control, or he wants to see if he's gonna have a baby or not. And he said, when you see that, realize that he's probably busy for the night or something like that. What are those called? Pregnancy test. Oh, my pregnancy test. Maybe if my brain worked better, I would understand my mother tongue. Okay. So I knew the parameters. Okay, I can do anything. I can just dance within it. But the button has to be, oh, but you're probably busy. Okay, so that's the button with Singles. So you get scale. You get about $270 to perform. And that's why I'm bitter, and that's how we'll unpack this at the Neptune Theater on Saturday night. Campbell got $12 million. Who's bitter? Me. I'm bitter. No. So what I did was I go, okay, cool. Right before I go, because I hadn't read the script, what does Campbell do? Okay, well, Campbell was a DJ. Okay, I just get particulars about Campbell. Okay, he's got this girl, Seattle, music scene, blah, blah. And if you look at the scene, I'm just like, man, you're the king. You were the only dude that could mix up Elvis Costello and Public Enemy. What's so funny about peace, peace, peace? Death row. What does a brother know? But you are the king. You are the king. But you're probably busy tonight. Like literally. So I just, and it was their lunch break. And I just, knocked it out in a few takes, had a blast. And I get to be in a movie, And so that's what I did for 40 movies leading up to Entourage. Rush Hour 2, my only line was, may I help you? And so I'm just like, you got the mochaccino skin and the big broad shoulders. Let's put a dead animal on you. Buttercream, cracked skin, buttercream. What's below the waist? You know what I mean? And then, everyone thinks that like, oh, he's rich. It's like, no. I made a couple $100 and shot that, people, they count your money. It's funny. No, I wouldn't change it for the world. I get to do what I love to do. But if you look at all those roles, this was prepping me for stand-up because I'm improvising and understanding the nature of comedy within that, all writing on my feet. So, yeah, man, all roads lead to stand-up.
Well, the stand-up is happening this Saturday, Neptune Theater, July 12th. The one, the only Jeremy Piven will be there.
Yes.
You can get tickets at jeremypiven.com. Jeremy-Piven.com.
Absolutely. And also, what is it, Neptune?
Neptune Theater.
Yeah, everyone knows the Neptune Theater.
It's a great
we
theater.
got a couple hundred seats left. If they mention you guys, let's give them a free meet and greet afterwards.
All right, there you go.
We'll hug it out.
Mention Wyman and Bob. You're going to meet this guy in person who's been in everything we all love.
Yeah, and so if you guys have a moment, come to the show. So next time you could say, I saw the stand-up. Maybe you should retire. Or something, whatever you want to say.
Jeremy, awesome to have you in here.
Thank you guys for your patience with me.
Appreciate you, man.
Thank you.
There you go, the great Jeremy Piven. Again, he'll be at the Neptune Theater on Saturday. I guess if you tell him you heard it on Wyman and Bob, there's a free meet and greet. I don't know if they've set that in place or if he could have just been riffing, Dave. We'll see. So thanks to him. Meanwhile, short show, so you're getting 2 short segments for the price of 1. We'll hear a moron and Wyman and wrap up the show by reading your mean text. And Dave would say those are other morons we'll hear from. That's coming your way with Wyman and Bob at Seattle Sports on 710.
The All-Star Fantastic Four. It's now the Mariners' Fantastic Five.
Welcome to Randyland.
As Randy El Rosarena joins Andres, Brian, Julio, and Cal.
Holy smokes.
The 2025 Midsummer Classic, Tuesday afternoon at 5 from Truist Park in Atlanta on the home of the Mariners. Seattle Sports on 710 and the Seattle Sports app.
Hey, it's Dave Wyman for Swedish Cyberknife. A few weeks ago, we had Andy Ryder. He's the mayor of Lacey, and he's a Swedish Cyberknife patient. We had him and Dr. Landis from Swedish Cyberknife in the studio, and a couple of things that stood out about Swedish Cyberknife. Treatment, number one. I mean, it only takes 5 sessions. Andy was able to complete treatment in 1 week, Monday through Friday, while continuing to work full-time, and each treatment session lasts less than an hour. So he's able to remain comfortable during treatment. You can wear your street clothes in. He didn't experience many side effects other than being a little bit tired. But if you compare that to other treatment methods for prostate cancer where you have surgery, you have to have a catheter, I mean, it's a night and day difference between other treatments and Swedish Cyberknife. Also, it was really cool to see the relationship between Andy and Dr. Landis. Andy holds him in very high regard, you can tell, and rightfully so. Dr. Landis is a multiple-time recipient of the Seattle Top Doctor Award. We talk about building a sports team and trying to find stars and superstars. Swedish Cyberknife truly has that. It's an all-pro roster of doctors and world-renowned experts in their field, just like Dr. Landis. Swedish Cyberknife treats patients from all over the state, and you don't need a physician referral. You can reach out to them directly. So if you've been diagnosed with prostate cancer, go to swedish.org/cyberknifeprostate. Treat prostate cancer with Swedish Cyberknife.
What's the biggest mistake you can make when selling your home? Settling for less money. That never happens with Orchard. Disappointing offers can wear you down, causing you to settle for thousands less. You don't have to settle when you sell with Orchard. Orchard reinvented the real estate industry by guaranteeing your home sale and helping you sell on the market for top dollar. First, Orchard gives you cash up front so you can buy and move into your new home first, on your timeline. No waiting, no showings, no double moves. Then once you're all settled in, your Orchard agent helps sell your home on market for top dollar. Here's what one Orchard customer said. I never could have sold without Orchard. I made way more than I expected, and it couldn't have been easier. With Orchard, you never have to settle for less. Buy before you sell and get top dollar for your home with Orchard. Curious how much your home is worth? Visit Orchard.com to get your free home valuation. That's Orchard.com. Orchard.com.
Adam Schefter here for Vivid Seats, your ultimate destination for all your sports and concert needs this summer. With a game-changing rewards program and an unbeatable selection of tickets, they make it easy for every fan to watch their favorite teams and players in action. Catch every home run and thrilling comeback in person from your favorite seat. Plus, every ticket is backed by a 100% buyer guarantee, giving you peace of mind with every purchase. Visit VividSeats.com or download the app today. Vivid Seats, the official ticketing partner of ESPN.
This is the story of the one. As a lineman, he does whatever it takes to keep the power on in his community. And he wants a partner like Grainger who does the same. Grainger offers the professional-grade products he needs, from voltage detectors to harnesses to hard hats, plus fast, dependable delivery, so he can rise to every challenge. Call 1-800-GRAINGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
Do you know a woman who gives her all to the sports community, encourages diversity, and empowers those around her? Stacey Rost here. Seattle Sports is partnering with the Seattle chapter of WISE, which stands for Women in Sports and Events. We want to recognize a woman in our community, and we need your help finding her. Nominations for the 4th annual Women of Inspiration Award are open until July 11th. The winner will receive a donation to the cause of their choice. Nominate an inspiring woman today at WOISeattle.org. That's WOISeattle.org.
The home of the Mariners, Seattle Sports.
Cal swinging a drive, deep to right field.
Every pitch of every Mariners game is on the Seattle Sports app.
This is the story of the one. As a safety manager at a manufacturing plant, he does everything he can to keep his coworkers safe. From finding ways to reduce risks to keeping safety supplies in stock. And for that, he relies on Grainger. Grainger offers a broad range of quality products and next-day delivery, so he can always play it safe. Call 1-800-GRAINGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
Hey, Mike Salk here with some exciting news from a family-owned business that's local here in Western Washington. Yeah, we love to root for these guys. It's Riverside Roofing, and they've once again earned the prestigious GAF Master Elite President's Club. Well, that puts them in the 99.9th percentile of all roofers in the nation. So you might remember I've been talking about only 3% of roofing companies nationally qualify for GAF Master Elite status. But how many of those achieve President's Club? Well, that's only 2%. Truly the cream of the crop. Proudly from Marysville and serving homeowners all over Western Washington, Riverside Roofing is the roofing company you can trust. So what does that mean for you, the homeowner? Well, it means you're hiring the best. A company that gets high marks in performance, reliability, and service, plus an elite warranty to match. Highly reviewed and highly recommended, certainly by me. Riverside Roofing is your go-to local roofing contractor. Book them now and get that roof done fast. I highly recommend them. Go to riversideroofingllc.com. They are the roofing company you can trust.
You're free now. Free to stream beyond your wildest dreams.
Rom-coms, slasher-coms, space operas.
Free to fill your feed with impossibly chonky chonkers.
Cats, corgis, babies on demand.
Free to make your smart devices do silly things.
Bowl of chips on the Robo-Vacuum.
Free to open a world of remote work and Gametopia.
Who's the boss now?
Free to be everything you imagine. That's how it feels to have Quantum Fiber Internet. Your world unleashed. Learn more at quantumfiber.com.
Limited availability, service in select locations only.
Why, man? Why?
Lunch has been canceled today due to lack of hustle. Deal with it.
He's a habitual line stepper.
What were you thinking? What are you doing?
Why are you the way that you are?
It's the Why Man of the Week.
It's time for Wyman, which is presented by Mazda of Everett, and we'll get to mean text potentially. It's pretty light and pretty hard to decipher a couple of them, so we'll see.
It's pretty stupid is what you mean.
Well, I was reading one to you going, I don't know what this means, and you're sounding it out going, we'll hear it on the why.
That's what you have to do.
It's going the wrong direction. But 866-979-3776. If there are enough of them that are suitable for air, we can make sense of them. We'll read them. But right now we'll get into the Why Man. And this comes courtesy of Kansas City radio host Kevin Keitzman. And apparently he's got an issue with Patrick Mahomes, called him fat and an embarrassment.
I'm going to say it, and I'm going to tell you the truth. That's why you hit the play button. He's an embarrassment. You're a $500 million quarterback. You've made all these comments in the offseason that we're going to do our talking on the field. We got our butts kicked in the Super Bowl. We're coming back with a vengeance. Dude, you're fat. Your belly would be fat at my pool, hanging out with us, 60-year-olds, okay? My skin's flabbier than yours. I get it. Stop. Stop the fast food. Do a sit-up. Do something. Yeah, I'm sure he's worked out and strengthened his arm, and he's done all kinds of different things, quarterback things, but there's no training to this man. I don't understand it.
I'm sorry, did his conditioning hurt the team somehow and getting him to another Super Bowl? He
averages 30 touchdowns a year.
What a weird thing to complain.
And do you see the pictures here? I mean, look, maybe I'm not the best judge, right? Okay, so, if you've got like the washboard, and he's got like the upper ones, they're there.
the upper abs?
The upper abs.
It's just the lower abs are absent.
I don't see a fat guy there. I'm sorry. And that's just stupid. It's like somebody making fun of someone's accent or something. I mean, it's so lost. It's ridiculous.
Well, what a weird thing to complain about. I mean, it'd be different if, hey, this guy were, I don't know, he broke through the line and the play broke down. He's running and he got caught from behind because he was out of gas and he's winded and he couldn't be out there for the next play. What are you talking about? This guy's, you've won multiple Super Bowls with him. He's an MVP. You got back to the Super Bowl. Yeah, it didn't go well, but you were one of two teams left standing. This guy's been arguably the pillar when it comes to quarterbacks since Brady's been gone. What are you talking about? You
know what I would do?
That's a weird criticism.
If I was Mahomes, the next game I play in, do you remember that picture of there's an old quarterback sitting there? It was a black and white picture, and he's got a beer can and a cigarette. Yeah. Get a heater and get yourself like some Busch Light or something, and that would be hilarious. But
that's a weird,
so dumb.
Yeah, that's
it's
a weird.
I'm sorry. Go ahead.
Well, I'm looking at the picture. Yeah, he's not ripped, but he doesn't look like what a slob. It's gonna cost us his lack of conditioning. It feels like somebody who just wanted a topic and wanted a hot take, and you knew you were going to get people like us talking about it. I guess I don't know. How many quarterbacks are ripped? I remember talking to I won't say his name because maybe he wouldn't want it out there publicly, but somebody who's a prominent NFL analyst these days, talking about Peyton Manning back in the day.
Oh, yeah.
And talked about going into the locker room one time and seeing him without a shirt, and he's like, couldn't believe it. I was like, Peyton, you ever done a push-up?
Yeah.
And he was like making fun of him, and you've talked about Elway's body was kind of weird, and I know Tua's taken a lot of grief about him looking chunky. Until it impacts their play.
Yeah,
I just don't know many quarterbacks that are ripped.
Well, and the late great Cortez Kennedy, he had the locker next to me until I moved to a nicer neighborhood. But he was not ripped by any means, and that's the beauty of football. There's lots of different guys, different body types that can get it done. So kind of the same in baseball.
Yeah,
right. I mean, you see
some of the most durable pitchers you've ever seen. Yeah. David Wells was not body beautiful. Bartolo Colon, not body beautiful. These guys are doughy, fat guys.
Right.
I mean, it's just you don't see many that are ripped. It's just that would be the outlier. They tend to look like this picture of Mahomes, which I wouldn't look at and go, wow, that guy's fat. He's out of shape.
Yeah.
So I'm not understanding the motivation for those comments, but there you go.
You want to read one mean text?
Go ahead.
Do we have time?
Go for it.
Yeah, I can't find it now. Oh, here we go. Mean text. Bob is the moron. We're going to hear about Dave in the Wyman. That's it?
That's the one?
What a way to end the week.
Yes.
Oh, that was gold. I'm not sure what they're saying. I'm a moron, and you were going to hear Dave in the Wyman. Got me. I'll take the weekend to recover. All right. If you missed any part of the show, you can find it on the podcast page at seattlesports.com. You got the Mariners and Tigers coming up next. Talk to you on Monday with Wyman and Bob.
The season of Cal continues.
And the next offer on the way to Cal, swinging a drive deep to right field.
Big dumper is in the Derby.
Goodbye, baseball.
Like, what if Cal was doing this for the Yankees and Judge was doing this for the Mariners? Who's the MVP then?
Hear Cal Raleigh in the Home Run Derby, Monday afternoon at 5. Live from Truist Park in Atlanta. Only on the home of the Mariners. Seattle Sports on 710 and the Seattle Sports app.
Every great team has its core players, but when the season gets tough, adding the right free agent can make all the difference. The same goes for business. At Robert Half, we found that 67% of companies surveyed plan to increase their use of contract talent to handle workload peaks and backlogged projects. With Robert Half's specialized recruiters' experience, combined with our award-winning AI, you can quickly find the skilled candidates you want. At Robert Half, we know talent. Discover how we can help at roberthalf.com/talent.
As a fan, you know all the important sports cliches. And when you save money by bundling your home and auto with Progressive, you can get out there and give it 110%, even though that's mathematically impossible. And remember, failure is not an option. Well, it's always an option, just not a good one. But you're not worried because you've got ice in your veins. You're on fire. How can both of those things be true at the same time? Well, that's between you and your doctor. So get out there and leave it all on the field. Leave what? Who cares? Just leave it and save with a bundle from Progressive. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company affiliates and other insurers. Not available in all states or situations.
Some things can steal your sunshine. Ugh, I just got my hair done.
Sorry, the cooler's broken. Anyone see my flip-flops? Anyone?
But COVID-19 can steal a lot more.
I just took a COVID test. Ugh.
Prescription medications for COVID exist. If you test positive this summer, ask your doctor if they're right for you. Visit PfizerForAll.com/COVID-19 to learn more. Sponsored by Pfizer.
When might you be buzzed? When you suddenly love everything.
You guys, I love this song. I love these nachos. I love our kickball league. Ugh! I love this guy. What's your name? You know what I'd love? A ride when it's time to head out.
If you see a buzzed warning sign, call for a ride when it's time to go home. Buzz driving is drunk driving. A message from NHTSA and the Ad Council.
I love your car. Is this real leather?
This is the story of the one. As a lineman, he does whatever it takes to keep the power on in his community. And he wants a partner like Grainger who does the same. Grainger offers the professional-grade products he needs, from voltage detectors to harnesses to hard hats, plus fast, dependable delivery, so he can rise to every challenge. Call 1-800-GRAINGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
Get in the zone, AutoZone.
Welcome to AutoZone. What are you working on today? Hey, that's the spirit. Right now, we're celebrating free with a free STP oil filter when you buy 5 quarts of oil and free Duralast brake pads when you buy 2 rotors. Like always, free battery testing, charging, and recycling at every store. Celebrate free at AutoZone, now through July 28th.
Get in the zone, AutoZone.
Restrictions apply.
It is that time of year. I cannot wait for the weather to get warm like it is now on consecutive days. That means I can break the motorcycle out, ride to work, ride all over the place, and I love it more than just about anything. But I also know that it's not a matter of if, but when you get in an accident, what are you going to do? Well, I'll tell you, when you're injured in a motorcycle crash, don't settle for firms that say they're motorcycle lawyers. Trust the ones who live it. Law Tigers has been a part of the writing community for nearly 25 years nationwide. They're here 24/7, 365 days a year because writers deserve real support when they need it. Law Tigers is the resource writers can turn to when they are in need. Law Tigers is out at all the events and supporting all clubs and shops. The Law Tigers are always by your side. Your case evaluation is always free. There are no fees until your case settles. The Law Tigers, you never ride alone. Law Tigers, Washington's motorcycle lawyers. Jimmy Cook, 539 Broadway, Unit 104, Tacoma, Washington, 98402.
Hey, it's Dr. Coogan from Eastside Weight Loss Clinic. We've been fortunate to work with over 4,000 local people and help them hit some pretty amazing weight loss goals. I'm joined by 2 of them right now, Mike Salk and Ryan Rowland-Smith. Ryan, every time I see you on TV, I'm even more proud of all you've accomplished on the plan.
I'm so happy. For years, I've been trying to find a consistent plan that delivered results with my busy family and work schedule. Eastside Weight Loss Clinic not only delivered, but it was an absolute breeze. It was so enjoyable because the plan wasn't hard. I was able to eat delicious food, and I literally lost weight every single day.
Eastside Weight Loss Clinic works so well for me. I'm happy to hear more people are using it to lose weight and prioritize their health as well. It's an awesome plan. Schedule a free 50-minute consultation today. Go to eastsideweightlossklinic.com. easyweightlossclinic.com.
No surgery, no exercise, no packaged meals, no drugs or injections. Just delicious food and a plan that works. Schedule a free 15-minute consultation today at easyweightlossclinic.com.
Dr. Ryan Coogan, D.C. Results may vary.
This is Seattle Sports.
Streaming through the Seattle Sports app.
KIRO AM Seattle. KIRO FM HD2 to